Next up, creating and editing ellipses. The ellipse tool is used to create ellipses and perfect circles. So next you'll create a few ellipses with the ellipse tool to make a coloured area on the body of the bird. Press and hold the mouse button on the rectangle and choose the ellipse tool. Okay. To the right of the green rectangle, make an ellipse with an approximate width and height of 1.18 inches. Alright, so to the right of the rectangle, make 1.18 inches on this thing. As with the rectangles, without switching to the selection tool, you'll reposition and modify the circle with the ellipse tool. And fill the shape with the white-black gradient. Okay. Drag the circle by the blue center dot onto the rectangles to fill the shape. It will be covering the rectangles. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's hard to say exactly where I want this thing. Next, you'll practice creating a circle with the ellipse tool to make the bird's eye. With the ellipse tool still selected, to the right of the bird, press and drag to begin drawing an ellipse, and 0.4 inches on this one. All right, here we go. So click the fill color. The fill color should be black. Press escape. Click the stroke color in the properties panel, and this should be, just look at the color it is. And we need a stroke weight of 6. It's actually quite a useful general thing, this, for making eyes, right? Drag the circle from its center onto the bird to make the eye as shown in the following figure. So you need to be looking at the positioning. We might have it in, I'm sure we'll put it in the wrong position, but we'll just put it there for now. To make it smaller in the transform section of the properties panel on the right, make sure make sure it is selected, maintain width and height, and change either value to 0.09 inches. And because it wasn't selected, it didn't work. It does, yeah. You have to modify that quite a lot, I think. That setting. By default, strokes center on a path, which means that along the path, half the stroke weight is on one side and half is on the other. You can adjust this alignment so the stroke appears in the center, inside or outside. Next, you'll change the stroke so you can still see the fill of the eye. Okay, that's what I want to do. With the small circle still selected, click the word stroke in the properties panel to open the stroke panel. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the selection of this is really weird just because it's underlined. So select stroke, and then we need to do, which button is it here? Click the align stroke to outside button, which is, I think it's, I don't know which one it is. It's this one. Yep. There you go. And that's it. All right, so I just moved things a little bit there. Now, creating a pie shape from an ellipse. Ellipses have two pie widgets that you can drag to create a pie shape. Next, we'll modify the gradient. Well, I'll modify the gradient, but yeah. So used to saying we in every video. Most books will say you. Next, you'll modify the gradient shape using those pie widgets to become a half circle. Select the selection tool and click the gradient filled circle on the board. So yeah, okay. Select this. Okay. When it's selected, you see the pie widget on the right side of the ellipse. Oh, is that what it? You know, I've never noticed this in my life. Oh yeah, it's a. Yeah, wow. The pie widget you just dragged is the pie. There's another pie widget in the same place in which you started dragging this one. Oh yeah, that's actually. I was actually thinking, can I get it to do that? Because that is actually what it looks like in the picture more. Interesting. Pie widget you just dragged is the pie start angle, and the other pie widget is the pie end angle. All right, so the bottom one is the start, the other one's the end. Drag the other pi widget counterclockwise around the top of the. Yeah. Oh no, actually, it's still in the wrong place. And then drag it basically so it's close to the eye. Yeah. Okay. The circle will look best if we see exactly half of it. This requires the two pi widgets you drag to be precise angles to each other, showing 100 degrees of the circle, 180 degrees of the circle. You can adjust them with precision in the properties panel. In the properties panel on the right, click more options in the transform section to show more options. Choose 90 degrees from the pi start angle. All right, so pi start. So actually, yeah, is this the pi start angle? Yeah. So we want 90 degrees here, and it's 270 from the pi end menu. Right. Press the escape menu to hide. Press the escape button. Click the arrange button in the properties panel and choose send backwards to send it behind the bird beak rectangle. Yeah, I think this part is like where you send stuff backwards and stuff. It's kind of an interesting thing. Well, that eyeball is real close. That is actually supposed to be in the right. Yeah, to send that back. Okay. If necessary, drag the gradient field half circle so that the right edge aligns with the blackbird shape.